Gather around Peer Skill Family. This your boy Sharif, and we're talking about how to be a better artist. Today is about decision making, specifically decision making as an artist. But of course, decision making is something we do in everyday life. Um, I want to talk about when you're in your zone, when you're doing your art, you have to understand how to make a decision. And this goes back to when we talked about concept art, answering those questions before you get into your main piece. uh Even if it's just another drawing, you still want to do a tiny bit of concept art, understand, oh, what's this going to look like, what's this going to look like, answer those questions, because it helps you understand decision making. And I always use a video game example, because video games and games in general, especially chess, are things that help you understand life in general, and it helps you understand art better and any other skill advancement. You really want to, you kind of look at games because that's what they are. And that's what most people understand in this generation anyway. But if any of you guys have ever played Candy Crush, comment in the chat if you guys ever played Candy Crush. And if you haven't played Candy Crush, you guys can still kind of grasp this concept. But if you've ever played Candy Crush, each level has a different objective. And I want you guys to start identifying objectives in your art. Objectives, and I'm not just saying, oh, if you're drawing a human, okay, the objective is to draw a human. What specifically type of human? What are you trying to capture in the? What style are you going for? Are you going for realistic? Or are you going for super stylized? What really pinpoint that objective, because that's what's going to help you. And we'll talk about objectives in another video, because I think that's a whole topic in itself. But pinpoint an objective for your art. Back to the Candy Crush example. If you've ever played Candy Crush, each level has a different objective. Um, and of course, when you first get the game, you start just swiping stuff, and you're just swiping, and you like it. You just having fun crushing the candy and different things like that. Um, or you didn't like it and it was boring or whatever. But you're just swiping randomly, right? And then as the levels get harder, of course, you learn about the different objectives and learn about the different rules. And then eventually your little cousin comes in the room and sees you playing Candy Crush, and they're saying, "Oh, swipe this one." They start noticing the patterns, you're putting the little colors together, but they don't understand why you're putting the colors together. So they tell you to swipe this one and swipe that one. And you tell them, "No, no, no." But why are you telling them no? Because you understand that that move might be cool, it might make a big blast, but it's not helping your objective. It's not helping the little nut get down to the bottom, or it's not helping you get to the certain score that the level told you to get to. Um, there's several objectives in Candy Crush, but when you get that in your mind, because at the beginning you was just like your little cousin, you was just swiping randomly. But now, as you've advanced, you have an objective, and your decision making is based off that objective. And I'm saying to do the same thing in your art, because in your art, when you're doing your art, if you put an objective on it, when you put, okay, today I'm sculpting a samurai girl, I'm sculpting a samurai girl that's gonna be realistic and game ready. So it needs to be able to move. It needs to have a rig to it, which you guys might not understand what a rig is, but there's plenty of tutorials on how to make rigs in Blender. And we'll talk about in another video how to watch tutorials, because you can't just watch tutorials and think you're gonna advance in your skill. But I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you to not watch tutorials. And I've actually seen YouTube videos where they've told you not to watch tutorials. They don't help you. And I understand why they're saying they don't help you, but that's not completely true. I've watched tutorials all my life throughout my self-teaching and throughout my journey of art. I watch tutorials, and the way I watch tutorials helps you. So I will talk about how to watch a tutorial. But when you put that objective on there, I'm making a samurai girl. She's gonna be a cyborg. She has to be game ready. She has to. You put those stipulations. You know what you want first of all, which is great. Then you have your concept art, because that gives you pinpoints. It tells you, okay, the armor is gonna be right here. It's gonna have um um fabric right here. she might hold a weapon like this. What are some key poses that I really like to see her in for when I do an animation? Um, Different things like that. When you set that objective, it guides you through your art process. You say, okay, I know I've done something like this in the past, but I'm going to do it differently this time because this time I needed to do this. I needed to do, or I understand in the past I did something like that. Uh, you do things differently, you make different decisions, even if they worked in the past. Because, and I'm not saying reinvent the wheel, but I'm saying there's always multiple solutions to solve the same problem. But you don't want to use the same solution every single time just because you found a solution. You might need a different solution in this case because your objective is different. So I want you guys to try that. Tell me how it works. Put an objective to your art pieces every single time, and that will help you understand what decisions to make when you're doing your art pieces. How to solve a problem differently in different situations. Now, I'm not saying every single time it has to be different. Sometimes you might do it the same way, but sometimes you might need to do it a different way because your objective is different or drastically different. So go ahead and give that a try. Tell me how it works in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one.